Hello once again from Rome. As you may be able to see outside this window, it's a rather stormy day here in Rome, and yet there is hope in the air that what has been the high humidity will be cleared. That seems to be a symbol for me today as I think about this first full day of the small group session that I'm in. Everyone came, of course, with their own backgrounds, cultures from around the world, and perhaps spoke in different ways, even though we share the common language of English. And we began to see today in our discussions the development of a common language where we begin to listen attentively to each other and yet at the same time recognize that many of the challenges families face today are something that's very common to each one of us. So my hope as we go forward is that we're going to be able to develop that common language so that we can really address the people today in their individual circumstances, realizing that there are many challenges that face us, but also many blessings of family life today that we want to hold up for people to imitate, but also to thank God for as we move forward in this synod.
Archbishop Cupich just told us that this is the first full day of the discussion groups, the so-called Circoli Minores. And those are the small discussion groups, actually composed of about 15 to 20 participants. And this is the third day of the Synod. And this is an important part of the process because there's a possibility of getting more deeply into the reflections that are called for by the Synod. Now, these discussion groups are following the Instrumentum Laboris, or the working document. And today the focus was on the first part of that document. The first part of that document tries to identify very specifically what are the particular cultural and anthropological questions that have to do with marriage and family life. And in a particular way, I want to underscore one theme that's in that working document. The working document talks about how in the modern world there is an accent on freedom, personal freedom, and that's a positive, that's a good thing. But it also can lead to a kind of individualism. And when individualism takes hold, then people think, feel that they can find self-fulfillment in themselves and through themselves. And of course, this is diametrically contrary, opposed to the spirit of the gospel. And that is the self-giving and self-sacrificing love that is modeled in Jesus Christ. And so as a consequence, if people are caught in individualism, they're afraid. Often afraid of commitment, often afraid of giving themselves. And as a consequence, we find today a lot of young people unwilling to risk the commitment that is involved in marriage. And this is a huge issue. The Holy Father has brought this up on a number of occasions, but it's part of the facts of the situation, the facts that the Synod Fathers are looking at. And they will keep moving forward and then eventually trying to respond to these facts of human experience.